Hi, and welcome to another episode of Feeding My Worm Bin. This is my original worm bin. This is my 27-gallon tote. I'm in the current mode of kind of a foraging mode. We're not adding any more cardboard to this bin. As you can see, we still have quite a bit of cardboard to work over, so that's what I'm letting the wormies do at the moment. Work over what's left in the worm bin. As you can see, I got a big wormy right here. Oh, there's two wormies right there, playing tug of war with each other. We won't disturb you. Sorry about that. These guys continue doing that. Yeah, right there. There might have been another third one in that little fun action. There's a good amount of wormies down here. The castings feel and a little dry on that side, but not horrible. Good thing to clean the rake off on. On this side we have some cabbage leaves that I removed from the plants because there was a pretty heavy caterpillar damage on them, so that's why they're in the worm bin. On this side of the worm bin, I think we fed them a piece of watermelon the last time, and a peach, I think, is hiding back here. I think I might have to... Oh, yeah, a little worm ball and the peach material down there. We'll kind of let them off to do that. And let's excavate where we thought that watermelon was. And was some cantaloupe melon there as well. Dig down pretty deep. Nice wormy action. I hope you guys are seeing the wormies. Yeah, there's a good amount of wormies left in this bin still, even though I brought a lot of them over to the other bin. The material's a little compacted, as to be expected. There's a lot of material in here, and it was flooded at that one point, and then we kind of fixed it. Clean my rake off again. That little corrugated paper is really good for cleaning it off of a rake end. Not seeing a bunch of cocoons. We did bump into a corny cob over there. I'm sure we'll bump into another one. Let's keep going into this corner. Bumped into another corn cob. Where was that? A peach pit? That's a peach pit. There's a lot of microbe activity on the peach pit. I got a whole nother rake full of wormies again. Let's clean them off. Alright. Not in the pit, but there's some wormy activity around the pit. Alright, we'll move that over. And we'll keep on digging. Oh, I see a piece of plastic. Come here, plastic. Piece of plastic strip from, I guess, somebody's mail. We'll remove that. Put that in the trash bag over here. Oh, we're doing pretty good on another pit. Maybe that's what I bumped into, and not a corn cob. So, material is real sticky. It's not too moist on this. We got both misters going in here to maintain. This worm bin is still getting heat. I plugged in my heater in this bin, and these wormies seem a little happier than the ones in the other bin. Tomorrow we're gonna play with that table, this table, and the stuff underneath it, and we're gonna get that table over there in the distance and get that one set up along the far wall over here, and that's where we're gonna have the wormies, and that's where the worm bins are gonna be, and we're gonna build another shelf so that I can put my junk underneath the table, and then we're gonna have a whole aisleway here in front of the door down to the other door. I don't know if the other door is going to be operational, but we may have a trellis in the middle. I don't know yet. I don't think we're going to be using that door much. We're going to try to keep that in sealed. I don't know if you can see, but there's another reel of PEX tubing over there. I got a 300-foot reel of PEX tubing for a really good deal. I'm not going to tell you that, but yeah, really good deal. That is going to go into a compost pile in which I plan to put wood chips in and pull the heat off of that to circulate in my radiant rock heating system. But you didn't come here to hear about my radiant rock heating system, but that shall be uploaded, and I will be explaining the whole process. But back to the wormy bin. We have a big feeding for these guys today. We're not adding paper. The food that I am adding was frozen, but thawed all day today, as you'll be able to see shortly. We're going to get that food. We're not putting any fresh paper in, but we do have that piece of cardboard. You know what? I think we're just going to go for it. And we're putting the food right in. Alright guys, I'm going to have to put you on the tripod. No I don't. I can, you're on the tripod, but I can lean you over this way, and these guys can, let me see if I can dig out another pile of wormies that you can watch as I get this bin ready. These guys, alright, we'll excavate where that piece of food was, in that corner. Alright, you got a piece of corn cob, and there's a lot of tails in there. There's some microbes, some who knows what's processing it, but there's definitely a cocoon. If you zoom in, not that white spot, but at the tip of that rake, there is a cocoon, and that's why I love putting corn cobs into my worm bins, because the wormies just love using the corn cobs. Let's push that piece of peach over there that they were working on. back over there. All right, because I'm doing not a migration, but I'm trying to get all the food substances over on this side to keep the wormies coming that way. So let me get their food. You'll have to watch back because I have quite the bowl of food here. We have a broccoli stem there. We got some apples. We got some dragon fruit peel. We have some red pepper. We have some cantaloupe melon. And we have some strawberries. And I think there might be a piece of peach left. I'm not 100% sure, but there may be a half a peach that will go into this bin. I am not... I gotta figure out how I'm gonna do this. It's a little difficult. So they'll get the broccoli spear. They'll get a dragon fruit. They'll get a piece of cantaloupe melon or two. Again, guys, this is not for they're cold, but it ain't frozen. Won't put that on top of the corn, but that's a whole apple. I'm not giving them a whole apple. I will give them half of that. Ooh. Oh, and I got a banana here. I gotta open that. That's an apple slice. Okay. There's the some cantaloupe. A banana that I gotta open. Apple, dragon fruit, broccoli spear, strawberries. That's what I'm going after next. Strawberries. And they're drippy nuts. We will give them a percentage of the water and this. Alright, they got all the water, but that's okay because it drains out of here. Yes, that is a big feeding of fresh, squishy stuff that they will be enjoying. I am absolutely sure of that. Move some of these strawberries around so that the wormies can get to them. They don't have to go through the cantaloupe there. The squash end, or zucchini end, I'm not squash. It's the other end of the zucchini. Alright, I think that they will devour that. I gotta open up that banana. Where did my... There we go. Sorry guys that this is going on, but I am not quick when there's 3 bins. Alright, so we're gonna split this banana up so that the wormies can get in. Alright. Get their amendments. So this is the whole feeding zone. Get the amendments. Rock dust and seashell grit, or seashells. Ground seashell to be used as grit. I got a scoop of worm chow here. And then we going to backfill our thawed food zone. We don't want flies or any more flies. And since we're at 18 minutes here, we will just move our leaves back up. To show where our feeding zone was. Come on, leaf. Alright, you go in half. Alright. So that is and will conclude our feeding of my original worm bin. And I believe we're at number 46. Yeah, I hope I can find that out, but I think we're at feeding number 46 for these guys. Feeding number 46. So that will conclude our feeding of the worm bin. Thank you all for coming and watching the 46th feeding of my original worm bin. Bye-bye now. Please subscribe. We're getting close to that number 50.